Hey there folks, and welcome back for another shaving video. And today we're going to use the coloniali mango oil, or coloniali, some people say. I don't know how you say it, but it is a wonderful soap, and in fact one of my favorite soaps. It comes in a nice terracotta bowl. It's expensive per ounce. I don't know what it is, but it's expensive. It's usually you can get the puck for like 18 bucks if they still make it. It was rumored to be going out of business, or they were going to stop making it. It was discontinued. I don't know why, because it's a great shaving soap. Wonderful scent, which I cannot explain at all. But it's really good in my opinion. All right, excuse me while I reach over you. We're just going to load with our Plisson today. And I got to tell you, this morning I got up and I asked Siri a question, Siri on my iPhone, and now I'm convinced there is in fact a Lord in heaven, because the Cubs won last night. And thank goodness. It's not that I'm a fan of the Cubs, although I'm glad the Cubs won because it's been a long time they were due. The Cubs winning saves me having to listen to Cleveland fans talk about being the city of champions for the next 100 years. So I'm glad the Cubs win, because it's saved us from having to listen to that. I mean, already since Cleveland won the basketball championship, you got Cleveland going around acting like they were the Lakers or the Celtics, who have won multiple championships. And here Cleveland is, you know, they win one, and they deserved it because they beat Golden State. But my goodness, I mean, they've been squawking something awful since this happened. So I'm glad that the Cubs won. They were due anyway. And Cleveland people, pay attention to the Browns. No euro. All right, I'm just kidding with you folks, but I am glad the Cubs won. Okay, looks like we got a nice load. Let's stop yapping and get going with our shave. Stand by. This soap is really superb. To me, it's one of the very few soaps that I find to be worth that high price per ounce. And I did not calculate it, but I would assume, and I'm just guessing, it's $5 or more an ounce, because it's just a little tiny puck. It could be not quite that much, but it's certainly over $4, I would imagine. If you get it with the terracotta bowl, it's about, used to be around 30 bucks, which was, you know, it is a nice container. I think a lot of people talked about that Pinaud container, but I thought this plain old terracotta container was nicer than that Pinaud Nueva container. I was not impressed by the Pinaud container. It just looked like an old ceramic bowl, not particularly remarkable to me, but you know, that's just my opinion. All right, today we're going to use the Wolfman, which is a wonderful razor, and we will get started. This soap is outstanding to me in every regard, excuse me. It's excellent in the way it performs. It's excellent in scent. It's just outstanding. I guess the only knock on it, which would make it not excellent in every regard, so I retract that statement, it's pricey, but it's one of those that I find worthy of the price. There's a subtle menthol in this soap. You can't smell it. It's very subtle, just some slight cooling. And that makes it nice too. Aqua de Parma has that same subtle cooling, and I think it's difficult to achieve that in the soap. And the reason I say that is because artisans, there are not many artisans or artisan soaps that I've tried that achieve this subtle level of cooling without it being too much or without the menthol scent coming through. And in this soap, it's exactly what happens. It provides you just a little bit of cooling, but it's not distracting, and the scent doesn't come through in the soap. So I think that's difficult to do. Otherwise, we'd see more artisan soaps with this level of cooling, which is just, again, slight and subtle, lack of a better term. That was a great first pass. Let's come back for pass 2. Great stuff here. If you can get it, if it's still available, it's definitely one to have in your collection. To me, there's sort of a vanilla or chocolatey almost. A lot of people don't get chocolate, but it's sort of vanilla scent to it. It's not super strong, but it's just really nice. This is, again, one of my favorite soaps. It would always be, when I do a list of all soaps and not just artisans, this would always be in my tops. You know, it's going to be right there, just because it's that good for me. And for my money, it's better than Martin de Condre, it's better than Acqua di Parma, it's better than Expec, it's better than Pentacrema for my money. And I've bought all of those and used them more than once. This one hits the spot for me better than any of those soaps that are far more expensive do. Doesn't mean it will be for you, obviously, but for me, I think it's fantastic. And this razor is phenomenal. If you can get one, I think when you're talking about Wolfman, if you can get one, there's a little risk. Because if you don't like it, you can always resell it. And because people are always looking for a Wolfman razor. And they're really, really good. Just finely crafted all the way around. Excellent. Really nothing not to like it except for the price, but James has explained that. He makes these, you know, himself, and it takes time. And he wants to focus on each razor, you know, making it as good as it can be and craft it as finely as he can rather than lots and lots of razors. And so you're going to pay for that type of attention to detail and craftsmanship. Some people won't think it's worth it, and that's okay. But I don't have any buyer's remorse on buying this razor. And I'd actually bought another one, but we gave that one away in the Cybert's fundraiser sometime back. So anyway, that was an excellent second pass. Let's come back for pass 3. The election here in the U.S. is drawing to a close. We vote next Tuesday, and I hope whoever wins, wins handily so we don't have to go through you know, a big to-do like we did with Bush Gore. And I think no matter who wins, the political climate here is so vicious now that whoever wins will not be accepted fully, even though that's our system. I will accept them. Doesn't mean I like them, but I will accept the result of the election. And I would encourage other folks in America to bite the bullet and accept the results. This is our system. Peaceful transfer of power is what we do. So you need to accept the result, no matter who it is. You don't have to like it. There's a difference in liking it and accepting it. But once someone is president, I think you have to give them the opportunity, regardless if they're your guy or gal, to do what they do. Now, you know, once you give them an opportunity and you know, they're not performing at a level you would like, I think it's fair to criticize. But always remember, they're still our president. We elected them. So regardless of whether you voted for them or not, and in the interest of full disclosure, I'm not voting for either Hillary or Trump because neither one of them meet the bar for me. I can't do it in good conscience. But that said, whoever wins, I hope that they have a successful presidency in terms of keeping the country safe and, you know, seeing things along. That doesn't mean I agree with their policies or anything like that, but I don't root against our president of the United States. Now, I've been critical of President Obama a lot because I don't agree with a lot of his policy. But I try to keep my criticism geared towards that policy and not make it a personal thing where I just hate Obama. I don't hate Obama. And to be honest with you, I thought Obama would be a far more successful president than he was, because I too was sort of captivated by his the way he spoke and the way he was able to motivate people. I think, you know, this guy can really pull people together, I thought. That turns out not so much to be the case, because the country, in my opinion, today is more divided than it ever was prior to Obama. We have, you know, it just seems like everybody is far more on edge than they ever were before. And maybe that's just the nature of things, but I don't see where this particular president has brought us together. That chasm between us has grown, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Anyway, we've had a great shave. Stay tuned for the post. All right, so while I'm getting my witch hazel ready, magic, because it's made by witches, President Obama, one of the things that got under my skin the most was when they were having the budget crisis where they couldn't pass a budget, and he shut down the parks there in Washington, D.C., and World War II veterans and other veterans had already made plans to meet there. And they had gates up, and they were using it to make political points. And here these, you know, 70, 80-plus-year-old men come all the way across the country to meet their brothers. And President Obama had closed the parks because there were no budget. There wasn't a budget in place. Also, they had temporarily suspended the death benefits for soldiers, that were killed. And I found that to be disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. To use that to make political points, that was disgraceful. And so there were things like that that really bothered me a great deal about President Obama. But that said, I accepted the fact that he was the president, currently is, and I don't root for him to fail. Now, I don't root for some of his policies to succeed in terms of being passed, but I don't root for him to fail overall as a president. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Okay, I'm going to use Clubman Vanilla aftershave today. We'll see how that goes. This is sort of a, it's not your typical vanilla. It's not like opening a bottle of vanilla and that sweet. There's some spiciness to it. It's pretty nice. It's affordable, and I like it, so we will use it today. Okay, let's review real quick. I put the bowl over there, but coloniali, it is wonderful top shelf stuff. One of the few soaps I find to be worth that kind of money. Plisson did excellent work, and of course you saw the wolf whiskers, which is, you can't get much better when it comes to safety razors, in my opinion. All right, everyone, thanks again for watching, and until next time, let's make America shave again. You guys have a great day.